esteemed dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, participants. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here this morning to reaffirm our commitment to this very important project, not the project, the way of life of waste to wealth or waste to worth. And we are very happy to partner with CII, and I am sure partnership with many other stakeholders is important in this task to really make an impact in the long run. We are all aware that this issue of the waste generation is pretty large. It's a big issue, and we are almost generating 62 million tons of waste annually, and only half of it is really half of it is actually sent to landfills, and only 12 million tons are treated. Now this is pretty alarming, because if you look at the landfills in Delhi and many other cities, that will tell that this cannot be a sustainable model. Now, with our changing consumption in coming years and rapid economic growth, we know that the waste generation will increase, and we really need to cope up and come out with more technology solutions so that we can really keep this whole issue under control and also generate worth out of this waste. Now, good news is that there is a opportunity here to treat the waste, and by 2025, the waste management industry is estimated to reach about $15 billion. That's an opportunity we should all be geared up to, and I am sure many of you are in this field and must be looking at all possible opportunities to really contribute to handle this opportunity. So you can see that there is a considerable opportunity here, and I am sure more players will come in as we go along. Now, as was mentioned a few minutes back, creating a circular economy and generating wealth from waste is a subject of interest to all of us. It's of national interest, and also it's of international interest. So we must bring forth a sustainable India as we go along and maximize the potential of our growth in a sustainable manner, so that we really leave a planet much greener and much richer than when we came in. So this is our responsibility to the future generation, not only to our generation, which we are also passing through, but also to the future generation. As somebody said, we have a loan from the future generation, and we really should not really misuse it and leave a better world when we go back somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere we have to go back. So this landfills across India, especially if you are around Delhi, it hits you when you come in Delhi, and it is almost reaching 200 feet. And we gathered that 76 fire incidents have occurred in 3 landfills in Delhi in the last 4 years. Now this is pretty alarming, because these fires create public health risks due to emission of toxins into the atmosphere. And these emissions not only put the obnoxious gases and toxins, but also add to particulate matter. And there can't be a better place in the world than to understand the nuance of the particulate matter. We are passing through this phase from the last month, and this will not stop here. But we have to really see that these landfills are controlled in a reasonable amount of time. Now, there have been some initial successes and encouraging growth, and waste to energy plant is being set up at Bhalsava landfill in Delhi, and similar plants are coming in other cities such as Bangalore, which I know a little bit, and Hyderabad and so on. So we have also good examples in our country which we should really look at and see how we can emulate and make it better, namely the city of Indore. So Indore has come up extremely well in the last few years to make it a zero garbage city, even though it generates about 1200 tons of garbage every day. Now, 1200 tons of the dry waste and almost 700 to 800 tons of wet waste. So, and they have a very interesting live tracking system of segregated waste from household to ensure that it is segregated. And as you know, that the wet waste is converted into organic compost and biogas. And in fact, some buses, I was told that almost 150 buses are running on this bio-CNG. So this is something we should learn from and see how we can amplify this effort and how we can improve on it. Now, there are multiple technologies to be applied to reduce and reuse the legacy waste, which I mentioned has accumulated over a period of time in our landfills. And good news is that there is some effort being made, and we are participating in some discussion and some action points to see how we can treat this legacy waste. Another problem which we all face is the plastic waste, and that is really becoming a nuisance over the last many years. And this waste market is also expected to be about 54 billion US dollars by the end of 2023. So this is again a huge opportunity to see how to use this 26,000 tons of plastic waste per day which India generates. And there are many possibilities, and we really need to come up with more innovative solutions to tackle this. Another thing which is really hitting us hard, and this is the fallout of the technology in some way, is the e-waste. And e-waste is something which we cannot afford to ignore. And India, the world is generating almost 57 billion worth of e-waste per year. In 2020, this is the figure. And this waste contains about 10 billion worth of precious metals, gold, platinum, and rare earth. And the pity is that all these precious metals are dumped every year in the growing mountains of the electronic waste. So here is again a great opportunity. Glad to see that some efforts have been launched in India, but much more needs to be done to cope up with this increasing e-waste. And I'm sure many of you would be looking at this problem to see what are the opportunities to handle this e-waste and really convert into wealth. Now, as was mentioned a few minutes back, we are very happy and in fact it's our privilege to be working with CII and other agencies on this waste to wealth mission. It is one of the important missions of our office of PSA, and we will continue to do in this direction partnership with others, as well as bring new players and see how we can help in this. Now here waste to worth is not only the technology, it also includes society. So the society has to participate in handling this problem. Now last year this waste to wealth mission initiated Swachh Sarthi Fellowship, And this these Sarthis are from all walks of life, right from students to the elders. And they, which included almost 400 fellows across India. And we give them a very nominal support. And they have become really our ambassadors to take the message to see that the waste is segregated and it is really used in a way that it can be recycled and so on. So recently a session was, the 2-day workshop, the get together was held of all these Sarthis. Glad to see that the enthusiasm in these young people is really palpable, and this is the way to really bring the entire society in our fold to make it a mission for all of us, not only the people who are technocrats, but all the people, everyone on street should be a part to handle this problem and convert this waste to wealth. So with this, I would like to thank CII for organizing this event along with our office and generate greater awareness on an issue that is impacting each one of us. We know that everyone in the country is part of the problem. Every one of us is generating waste. Our goal should be that we should all be part of the solution. And events such as this is a step in the right direction, and I am sure much more will happen as we go along in our joint venture. Thank you very much and wish you all the best for this meeting.